Hello and welcome to my tutorial video on how to make some cute felt mistletoe ornaments or just decorations for your house. Today I'm going to be sharing a video with you from Creativebug, which is a new partnership service that we offer here at the library that's free to all of our patrons. I'm going to show you how to log on to that and how to watch the videos on how to make different crafts. And today we're going to make a cute little fun craft. I can already show you what it's going to look like by the time you're done. Here's one version of it that I did with some dark green felt and some little red shiny pom-poms and ribbon. And then there's another version as well that I did with some other colors, some white pom-poms, and a little cute Merry Christmas ribbon. So that's what we're going to be making today. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so that you can see how to log into Creativebug. Okay, so in front of you, you should see the Macedon Public Library website. If you go down to our links here, you will see a bunch of items, you know, how to sign up for our holiday reading, our upcoming events, browsing our new books. It's in this second line here. If you scroll down underneath Contact Us, you'll see Creativebug. If you click on that, it will take you to the Creativebug website. Now, I'm already logged in. All you'll need to log in for your first time and create your own account is your library card number. I have it here on my little key tag, or it'll be on the back of your OWL library card. Or if you can't remember, or if you don't have it handy, you can give us a call and we can verify some information and look up your account for you. So that's all it takes. And what's really great about this is that, as you can see, it's got it personalized here to me. It's saying, welcome back, Jessica. And I can view all classes. I can look at my favorite classes. I can look up the videos I've watched recently. So if I go down, immediately it's going to say, you know, for me, it's going to say pick up where you left off. And I'm going to start with the mistletoe. Now, in this video, they were filming it live, and at the time they had like a giveaway going on. So obviously that's not relevant anymore because this was filmed back in 2017. Oh, also just real quick, up here at the top, you can see that you can search for classes. You can search by category: classes, images, instructors, blogs. How I found this was just by typing in Christmas crafts. So we're going to start with the felt mistletoe craft here. What you're going to need for this craft, the items you're going to need, and we do have a kit available here at the library that you can come pick up that'll have all your supplies in it, is you're just going to need a couple different colors of felt. I grabbed a couple different colors in a darker green, like a medium green, and then a brighter green. So you'll get all three of those pieces of felt. You'll also get some little pom-poms in red and in white. Oops, my pom-poms are going all over. You'll get a couple different sizes too. There'll be a larger size and a smaller size. So you'll get some red and some white, as well as some lengths of ribbon. I have some thinner ribbon here, as well as some wider ribbon. This really pretty Merry Christmas ribbon, I'm not sure where I got it from. It's just something I happen to have on hand. So I only had enough for a few kits to have that in there. But you know, you can obviously always too. If you want to do something different, you can go to your local craft store and pick up some supplies that'll really make it personalized to you. So your kit's going to come with some ribbon, as well as the pom-poms and the felt. What you're going to need at home is you're going to need a good pair of scissors. I'm going to use a hot glue gun. You can use any kind of glue that you have at hand. It's just that, you know, the hot glue obviously makes things nice and quick and easy. And I think that's about it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'll show you here a little bit of the video, and then I'm going to skip over parts just so that we don't have to sit here and watch the entire thing, but this will give you a gist of how the craft is started. And I am with her on that. I really like felt, working with felt. And if you did want to get some different felt colors, because I have some rather bold colors here, because that was what available at my local store. She's obviously got some more muted, sort of sage green colors. These sheets of felt, I think, were like 24 cents a piece. So if you wanted to get some different colors too, you could check out some different craft stores. I found these at Walmart. So it was the best Walmart had to offer. So, you know, maybe Michael's or Joanne Crafts might have something different. Okay, so I'm going to pause it just because I'm going to skip over her cutting through each one of them. I have pre-cut about 4 of these, so I'll just show you real quick cutting the last one. You can see that there. So for this one, I used a little less than a whole sheet, but after cutting out those 4, this is the part that I had left. So just as she did there, it is really easy if you start at the bottom and you just make almost like a little mountain shape and leave a little bit of space at the top, and then you just cut up, you know, a long narrow piece, you know, until it comes together at a point. And then for your leaves, it's real easy if you just round in the bottom on each side. And as she did, I left just a little bit of a gap there. And you can see I've cut a little bit in there. I'll just trim that off. And then that's how you make the little stems, which makes it real easy. So you're going to want, you can cut as many as you can get on your sheet, but you know, I have 5 of them here. You can also, if you want to mix the colors up, you can do that. I'm just going to skip forward in our video here. Because this is just her. You can also watch this entire video if you'd like. It's about 20 minutes long, so and part of it is just, you know, watching her cut the materials as well. So I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to the assembly part. Looks like she's got 6 of them. Okay, so I'm a big fan of the hot glue. I'm not skilled enough to just tie things and have them stay. So I'm going to show you here, down here, what I've got is, so what I've done is just like she did, I've got 3 of them that I'm going to braid. I'm just going to cross, you know, 2 over the center and holding it, or, you know, you could also just go ahead and glue it together right there at that point, and that would also make it a little easier. So I'm just going to loosely braid it like she did. By crossing over, you know, towards the center. Okay. And then just as she did, I'm just going to hold it and give it a little tug. And I am going to glue it into place because, as I said, I don't really trust my craft skills that much. I'm a decent crafter. I wouldn't call myself I would say I'm somewhere between beginner and intermediate. Certainly not advanced or professional. So I'm also going to go ahead and glue it down here so that I know that it's gonna stay together. So, hot, and be careful because the glue is quite hot. So, so now I've got my piece braided. And we'll go ahead and continue on with the video. Yep, see, careful not to burn your fingers. Exactly what I did. Yeah. Whoops. Okay. Yeah. So when I did this on my original one, I did the braid, and then I did these over top of it, and then I realized, well, I kind of lost my braid. So I kind of lost the whole purpose of the braid. So this time I'm going to glue them on behind. So you can see I've got my braid here, I've got my extra pieces, and I'm going to like layer them so that they're on top, and I'm going to attach them to the back. And I'm going to try to do it in a way that kind of goes with the angle of the braid. And whoops, right. So I'm just going to take my glue gun, give it a good dab of glue there. That's what's nice about the felt too, is felt and hot glue tend to play well together. They really like to bond together. And then I'm going to take my other piece here. And I think this one I'll kind of keep towards the back. And I'll glue it on to both the piece I just put on there and the braid itself so that it's really attached. So it's got some good attachment points. And then all I'm going to do is flip it over from the front. You can see we've got these bits hanging off. I'm just going to go with the angle right by my braid there. Trim these down so that we've just got our extra bunches of mistletoe. And if you want this to like really stay in place, you could even glue, which I think I'm going to. You don't have to do this part, but I'm going to glue this down so that it kind of stays in this formation. I just kind of like it that way. And plus, you know, I have a household with kids, so things tend to things that aren't toys tend to get played with, and it's never a bad idea to kind of reinforce things if you can, especially delicate handmade things. Okay, so now we're going to so you can so what she was saying right there too is if you really want to get it flat, you can use an iron, but you want to make sure that there's no steam setting because the steam will shrink felt. There actually is a whole technique you can do with wool called felting, in which you're shrinking it down. So you do want to be careful about that. Okay, so she's just still trimming. So there we go. Okay, so if you pick up a kit from the library, you are going to get a few of the little white pom-poms. I will say that I had a difficult time finding them. I could only find the little ones in sets that came with multi-sized pom-poms. And I'm sure if I went to a real craft store that I could find different sizes pre-packaged. So what I did was of the plain ones, I could only find this size. So I actually took a pair of scissors and trimmed them down to being very small. I did find out that if you try to cut a pom-pom in half, it's just glue at the center with all the stuff sticking out. So my second attempt, I just trimmed all the way around and made a smaller pom-pom. That was just for the sake of time. So it can be done. I would recommend just going and finding small sizes. But your kit will come with a few of these real little glittery ones, which are fun. So you won't have to do that. But today, just for demonstration purposes, I did just cut down a few of them and make them smaller. So, so these little white pom-poms are going to look like the little white berries of mistletoe. What I actually did too, just because I liked changing it up a bit, was I thought that this kind of reminded me a little bit more of holly. So I used the red pom-poms on the darker colored felt. And here's where you can get as creative as you want. You don't have to use the dark green felt for this design. You could use either the middle, green or the lighter green. Excuse me. And use the white berries but the darker green reminded me of holly berries. I actually have a holly bush in my front yard. So it reminded me of the holly. So I decided to use red pom-poms on this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that here. If you wanted to see, you could, also put white on there. And you know what, maybe I'll just switch it up. Maybe on this one I'll do the white ones. So it's real easy. You just take your glue gun, put a little dab of glue. Again, be careful of your fingers. And just attach them wherever you would like. And you might get these little strings of glue. They're real easy to just pick off. Okay. So now the next step is to add our ribbon. And she's going to tell you too in the video you want to fold your ribbon in half so that you can make a loop to hang it by. So you go ahead, she just does just a regular old overhand knot, pull it tight, Then you've got yourself a little loop to hang yours on, and just make a bow. I'll admit that my bow making skills are not my best. So bear with my bow here. Because I try to get them so that they're turned so that the shiny is on, you know, both sides, and then I can never seem to get them to pull tight. So this is again where glue becomes my friend. So I kind of make my bows behave using hot glue. So I'm just gonna I just put a bead of hot glue in there so that I could kind of make sure my bow stays up and is attached. I'm gonna put some on my belts. Mistletoe here and attach my bow. Now, if you want to, you can also sort of, if you need to make your bow behave, if you need to glue, you know, your ribbon down. You know, I actually wish that I had attached this a little lower. So while the glue's still hot, I'm going to take it off, put a little more glue on there, and attach it a little further down. I like that better. And then what I'm going to do is, be careful that now that I've got glue on here, I'm just going to go ahead and trim that part off so that it looks a little neater. I like that a little better than what I had the first time. I had it up a little higher and it felt like it was a little too narrow at the top. So there is our first mistletoe. And I would probably, I don't have another pom-pom right now, but I would probably attach another one down here I just feel like it needs one more. And there's your first little felted mistletoe so that you can hang it up and keep it from year to year. Obviously, with everything going on right now, you want to use discretion with your mistletoe, your social distancing practices, but with you know, the people of your choice, though, you can hang this up in your house. So that is the first one that almost is reminiscent of like one of those mistletoe balls that you can get. Now we're just going to show the other shape that you can make. And this one I made using two different colors, as you can see. I used this darker green and the lighter green. I actually didn't need to use as much felt as I thought I was going to. I ended up using about a third of this color. This is what I have left after making two of these. So I only used about a third of this, and I only used half of a sheet of this. And so I'll show you how I went about and did that. I'm going to skip ahead in the video. Let's see here. Oh yes, mistletoe is the state flower of Oklahoma. So this is just her making the bow. And I think that's important what she said there is like you can really customize this to whatever works for you. If these colors don't work for you, you can get different felt. If the fabric doesn't work for you, if you want to make this out of any sort of fabric you have, you can do that. If you want, you know, a more decorative ribbon, you can do that. If you want to play around with the colors, you can do that. So it's really however you want to make it. And in the video, then she just is going to attach her bow much the way I did. So we're going to move on to the second kind of mistletoe ornament. So you can see she cuts her sheet right in half. So I like how what she said there is that, well, the funny thing is I like this one a little bit more than the other one. And as she pointed out, this is not botanically correct for how mistletoe looks, but it reads as mistletoe. You know, the idea being that I don't think most people are not going to correct you. Most people are not going to go, well, you know, that's not actually how mistletoe looks. So I don't know. For some reason, I like this one a little better. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did this. I did the same thing she did in the video. I went ahead and cut this sheet right in half. And then I started just a little bit further over than halfway because, you know, we're going to have the top to attach them together. So it's really, you just free form this. You just start going down and then out and sort of, you know, she said, make these sort of teardrop shapes. And you can really make them as big as you want, as small as you want, as skinny. You know, it's however you want it to look. And I don't use the entire sheet. I kind of stop about almost a third of the way down. And at the bottom, I just kind of do two of them to kind of show the bottom of it. Now she stopped and went back to the top to cut down the other side. If that's what you need to do, go for it. I found that I could just keep going. I do find that it's a little easier to turn the felt at this point than it is to turn the scissors. So, and as she said, I tried to kind of stagger them, these little teardrops from side to side. So when I saw that there was an opening over here on this side, that's where I went down on this side to create another teardrop on the other side, just so it didn't look symmetrical, because then that would look, you know, a little odd. So I'll do one more up here at the top just to keep things interesting. And then to finish it, I'm just gonna leave like a little gap. Now, I still have this bottom part of this felt. And that's where I'm gonna make a second leaf in this same color. Now, just to save time, I already cut out another leaf from this color. This one, to do this, I cut the sheet into thirds and made like a medium-sized leaf. You know, this way we have a couple different sizes of leaves. So I'm gonna take this last little piece that I have that's just a third and cut, or I'm sorry, it's like a third of the half sheet. And I'm just gonna do a couple little ones. This is gonna be my smallest leaf. And I'm just free forming this. It's just whatever kind of strikes my fancy. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just a little fat there. A little fat at the top. There we go. Okay. So once you have 3 leaves, I did 2 in one color and, you know, in 3 different sizes. And I'm just going to lay them on top of each other so that they're a little bit staggered. You can still see all 3 of them, but they overlap a little bit. And then I'm going to use some glue to secure them down at the top, just 1 dot. And then just be careful holding it down that you don't, you know, touch it while it's, don't get some of the glue oozing out onto your fingers because it is hot. And that's all I did to make these. And then since I did the white puffballs on my other one, I'm going to do some red on this one. And I'll get the little bit of a bigger puffball and kind of play around with those. Put a dab of glue on them. Just go ahead and put those down. And then again, for these, your kit will have little red ones that are this size with little glitter things on them, or some kits might, some might be solid, because I do have someone out right now looking for, stopping at a craft store to get more of these. So I'm not quite sure what she's gonna find, but these ones I trimmed down from the larger puffballs. And so I'm just gonna kind of freeform, put some red ones wherever. Ooh, I got a little glue on my finger there. Wherever I think they look good. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's see. I don't want this guy. I'll put him there. Okay. So you can see I've got a couple of different sizes. And for this, what I did was I took a thinner ribbon just to mix things up. Got a couple links of that. Cut it, and then I cut it in half so that I have two pieces of the same length. So then this I doubled up so that I've got two pieces of ribbon. Again, I'm just going to do an overhand knot for to make the loop at the top. So now I've got a loop there. I'm going to take, split my two ribbons on each side, make a little bow. And this one I didn't have to mess with it as much because, whoops, my bow ended up a little bit big and my tails ended up a little small. So I'm just going to pull those back through a little bit. So now what I'm going to do here is get my glue, put a little dot of glue up here at the top. Glue down my bow with my hanging loop. And now since these pieces are kind of sticking out and maybe I want them to fall a little more downward, here's where like you can kind of use the glue to kind of manipulate your ribbon. Is I'm just going to put a little dot there and glue the ribbon to the dot. And since I have two pieces of ribbon, I'm going to have to kind of glue one to the other and then hold it down there for a second. So that way it falls downward as opposed to out. Same thing with this side. I'm just going to pull this one around, put a little bit of glue, hold it for a second. And if you are worried about your fingers, you can just kind of, you can always grab something else to kind of press it down. I'm just using the tip of my scissors here. And then that way, I can kind of make it fall a little more downward as opposed to out to the sides. So that's pretty much it. That is our felted mistletoe craft. As I said, here at the library, you can pick up a kit that'll have all the supplies that you need. You can also go out to any craft store of your choice and grab the supplies. It's very, very simple and cost effective to make. It really doesn't cost much to get a couple pieces of felt, some ribbon, and and some pom-poms, but we do have the kits here. So everyone who registered for this program will have a kit pre-made up for you, and you'll be able to come pick it up at the library. Currently, we're open for grab and go service, so if you give us a call, we will put it out in our grab and go box with your name on it, and you can come pick it up at your leisure and take it home. If you are watching this on YouTube and did not register for the program and would like a kit, please give the library a call, and we will make one up for you as long as we have, while supplies last. So I hope that this was fun and enjoyable for you. If you do want to watch the entire video on Creativebug, as I said, you just go to the library website, click on the Creativebug link, and you can sign up for your own Creativebug account using your library card number. There's also a ton of videos on there. So that is a great resource that we have now available through the Macedon Public Library. I hope everyone has a great, healthy, happy holiday, and thank you for joining me. You all have a great day. I'm gonna stop this. And oh, where's I apologize. I couldn't find how to stop the recording. Now, everybody have a great, healthy, happy holiday. Thank you for joining me.